to the thousands.
We'll see Yuki Ito in action in the 1000cc race later on. First, though, our focus goes on the SuperSports 600, which Ito used to compete so well at. This is the track at Zhuhai, 14 corners. This race yesterday was magnificent, absolutely magnificent. I think we can just get a little glimpse of what it was like, and you'll see what I mean. Magnificent. Coming into the final lap, or the final 2 or 3 laps of this 12-lap race, there were 3 genuine contenders to win this one. Adam Norridin, bike 77, who's just in 4th place there. Kazma Daniel, who was fastest on pole, bike 127, and Pirapong Boonla, the championship leader, bike 26. The finale to this, I'm giving it a big build-up because it was arguably the best race I've ever watched in ARRC, Barry.
Yeah, one of the best races you're going to see anywhere in world motorsport, in fact. And there was another rider in the mix here, and before his chain came off, that was Randam Rosley on the 1XOX TKKR SAG machine. Very unlucky for him. There were 4 riders that could have made that finale even better.
Kazma Daniel, bike 127, was going into the lead. Where are we now? We're about 5 laps to go. We're just over halfway through the race now. And Adam Norridin, bike 77, he has begun to make his move. There were 6 genuine contenders for a podium place, but then it whittled down and whittled down. There's the chain problem that you were talking about for Ramdan Rosley. Tough for him. No way he can avoid that. Yeah, I'm with you, fellas. But all it built up to, Barry, was this most phenomenal final lap.
Yeah. Adam really shocked Kazma right at this point. I think Kazma thought he'd done enough, and on any given Saturday or Sunday he probably would have done, but this was a real surprise move and a brilliant piece of racing from Adam Norridin.
And then Pirapong has a look on the inside. Kazma Daniel is able to retake the lead, but Adam Norridin is also able to hold it. So Kazma retakes the lead into the final corner. Adam Norridin then goes on the inside lane, and it's a sprint to the line, and Adam Norridin takes it. I know the result. It's 24 hours old, and I'm still thrilled to bits by that race.
It was brilliant. It was so impressive, that last run into the corner.
Oh.
Absolutely brilliant.
Top class sport. Anywhere in the world, that is top draw. And we've encouraged people from around the world. Alvaro Garcia, the Consulate General of Ecuador, has come to Zhuhai to have a little look to see what's been going on. And I tell you what, more racing like that, and we'll be getting a lot more high-profile figures. Let's go down to the highest-profile figure of the lot, though, Hui Ling. She is down on the pit lane talking to some of the riders.
Thank you there. So I'm here with Andy Istiha. Andy, unfortunate end of race 1 for you yesterday. How are you looking forward to the second race? Because it looks like the weather is not as hot, but it may be as tricky as well for the race.
Yeah, yesterday not so good day for me. I crashed in the last 3 laps. But today I try some setting in the warm-up, and yeah, I will try more hard in this race too, and I will try stay in the group as possible and try to fight for the podium. All
right, thank you so much, Andy. Good luck for race 2. And then starting behind Andy in the 3rd row, we have Malaysian rider from Hong Leong Yamaha Malaysia, Kazma Daniel's teammate, Ahmad Afif Ahmad. Afif, yesterday you were able to stay with the front group, but you fell out towards the end. How challenging is it racing here at Zhuhai International Circuit?
Maybe a new issue. We use a Metronic, and I'm easy to keep the front group.
Alright, thank you so much, Afif. Good luck for race 2. Alongside Afif, another up-and-coming Thai rider from AP Honda Racing Thailand, Krichapon. This is your first year in the 600, but you have shown impressive results trying to stay with a more experienced rider. How are you looking forward to race 2?
Yeah, but yesterday late 1 in the problem something. As soon late 2, I want to the top rider in the follow but last lap in the podium.
Alright, thank you so much, Krichapon. Good luck for race 2. So that's it from me and the riders here on the grid. Back to Des and Barry in the studio.
Thank you very much, Wheeling. Plenty to admire on the grid lane, as Wheeling has just got us some of the backstories. The real story here, though, is that we could have a new champion, Pirapong Boonlet. If he gets 12 points clear of Kazma Daniel, then he will be champion. He's 89 points clear of Kazma Daniel, 102 clear of Adam Norridin, 124 clear of Andy Farid Idzahar. They are the only 3 riders who are mathematically able to catch Pirapong. So we'll keep a close eye to see whether this fella, who has won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 9 races so far, and has been on the podium in the other 2. It has been absolutely dominant from Pirapong, Byron.
He's had a fantastic season. The 600 suits him really well. We saw him for a couple of seasons in AP 250, where he was always in touch, although never quite one of the dominant riders. But put him on a 600 and he's gone really well. He is the 2 times winner of the Suzuka 4 Hours. Look at Kazma there, looking relaxed and happy.
He's pole position. He always looks relaxed and happy, and it was very interesting that he was very relaxed and happy, having lost that battle with Adam Norridin. And whilst many are saying it's very sporting, a couple of other comments are being, hey, he shouldn't be happy to come second in a battle like that.
I had a word with him and one of his teammates this morning, and I said, well done for beating Pirapong twice this season, but you haven't won a race yet. And here's a man who's looking for better luck today, Ramdan Rosley.
Yeah, chain problem for Ramdan Rosley yesterday. Cost him dear, and you were quite right to say in the highlights reel that he was very much part of a 4-man race for P1, and nothing he could do about it. But what a race from Adam Norridin, winner in race number 1. We didn't pick him before, we didn't pick him going into the last lap, we didn't pick him going into the last corner, and yet he won it.
He did, he judged it perfectly. He took those last few corners brilliantly, just watching the man in front of him, Kazma, and then he got the line and the drive perfectly out of the final turn.
This is Azroy Hakim Anwar, Musashi Boonshu Honda, who are used to winning this 600cc championship. He was lapping around about 158.57 kilometers an hour. Lap times around about the 138 is considered to be solid at this circuit for the SuperSports 600s.
Yeah, really good rider, Azroy. He was in underbones until the end of 2017, and then he jumped straight onto the 600s. Here's Krichapon Kausanti for AP Honda Racing Thailand. Wheeling spoke to on the grid. It is his first season in this championship, and he's one of those very talented young Thai riders on the AP Honda production line.
Krichapon has yet to get a podium this year. His best position was a 9 points for 7th place in race number 1, but he's always around about that 7th, 8th, 9th, always competing. So if there is any problems ahead, he may well be in a position to capitalise.
He's running quite well. His teammate Paswit Titiwara, he's for the most part this season been just a little bit in front of Krichapon, but Krichapon's got some, I think he's got some real quality. I think it was a good choice for Wheeling to interview him on the grid. 30 seconds to go before the start of the warm-up lap.
Very healthy crowd here at Zhuhai. We've been very fortunate to get the crowds. It's one of the things we think this series very much deserves is better crowds on the venue as well. Zhuhai has provided those crowds. We're delighted, and they've been entertained royally, none more so than in this race yesterday. Here is the grid. Kazma Daniel on pole, 137.398, average speed 159.6 alongside him. Pirapong Boonlet, if he comes first and Kazma 4th, Pirapong is champion. Ramdan Rosley on P3. Onto the second row, Andy Farid Idzahar, currently 4th in the championship standings. Adam Norridin, a youthful looking Adam Norridin. You forget how young he is, the Sepang International Circuit Junior SK Racing team member, winner yesterday alongside him, Azroy Hakim Anwar from Musashi Boonshu Honda on the Honda. Ahmed Afif Amran on P7. Ahmed Afif got himself 4th place yesterday. Krichapon, who you like, the young Thai for AP Honda, alongside Helmi Azman, another who's made the move up to SuperSports 600 this season. Pasawit from AP Honda Racing Thailand alongside Reza Danica Arons, also on the Honda, and Javier Malloy from Victor Racing. The Spaniard has had a season where he's picked up points regularly. We've got Xia Duntong as a wild card, and Marseille as a wild card from China, as is Macau's Ao Liangfu. Another wild card, Wan Heng and Hong Yan. Fakhruzi Shakarim is behind them on row 6 of the grid. There are 20 starters, of whom Jin Bin, who crashed out yesterday, and Liam McDonald for the Victor Racing team are on the 7th and last row of the grid.
Yeah, Liam also had a big crash out yesterday, went cartwheeling through the Coco Crunch gravel trap, and suspects he's broken his foot, but he hasn't had it x-rayed, he told me this morning, and maybe a collarbone as well. But he's gone out there today on his repaired bike. So some plucky characters in this paddock, and great to see so many wild cards as well.
You've mentioned the Coco Crunch a couple of times, the runoff track. I think it needs an explanation, Barry.
Well, I went on the track inspection yesterday, and it's just what it looked like to me. It's kind of brown, and actually it's not real gravel that's been mined. It's synthetic gravel made to a specific standard and a specific grade, in line with FIM regulations, and it's very effective. They've got deep gravel beds, they keep them perfectly, and when the bikes go in, they go in almost halfway up to the wheels. There was a bike that went in there in the support race yesterday that didn't even fall over, it just stood up on its own. So that's the Coco Crunch. Hopefully these guys will be staying out of it.
Zhuhai International Circuit, very much international quality circuit. It's one of the older circuits, but it's been resurfaced, it's been upgraded, and we're delighted to be back here for the first time since 2012. Now, this race is 1/8 as good as yesterday's. Promise, you'll remember it.
That's absolutely right, Des. Yeah, start line's cleared.
We wait for the red lights to come on. They disappear, we will be underway. Pirapong Boonla gets off to a solid start, not so good for Ramdan Rosley to the left of this view as we look. Ramdan bike number 23 is dropped 4 of 5 places from that start, and it's Pirapong Boonla and Casper Daniel who will be leading 1-2 into that first circuit, and there looks to be a problem for Ramdan Rosley right from the very start there by Barry Russell.
Oh, that's miserable. Yeah, I think you're right, Des. That's so disappointing.
And also going out wide, that was Pirapong Boonla. Now that makes it very interesting. No, indeed, Pirapong, he's dropped off away, and Casper Daniel has got open track ahead of him. Behind him there's a little whittle from Ajroy Hakim Umar, but what a fascinating opening 3 or 4 corners, and there is the problem for Ramdan Rosley.
Yeah, can't see what his problem is at the moment, but there goes Casper, and he's being chased by Ajroy and Pirapong. He's going to make up some ground now, so worth keeping an eye on him.
Adam Norridin in 3rd place. We know to keep an eye on him. We've learned from experience that Adam Norridin will be mighty competitive, but Casper Daniel, quickest in qualifying, perhaps hurt by the fact that he didn't win a race he really should have won. He leads, Adam Norridin goes into 2nd place. Already we're beginning to see these two who duelled so famously in race 1 in Zhuhai yesterday, potentially going to be duelling in race 2. And this is only the first lap of 12.
Yeah, and there's 2 very determined Musashi Bunsu Honda riders behind them. Ajroy in 3rd there, and Helmi Asman, who is easy to forget, he was the Underbone champion last year, in 4th position.
Pirapong Boonla goes through in P7. He lost a little bit of ground very early on. It's Casper Daniel and Adam Norridin who are leading. Ajroy Hakim, Helmi Asman, Andy Farid, who we spoke about, and Critchapon in the top 6. Reza Danica 10, Javier Malai in 11th, and Xia Juntong, the best of the wildcards, he is in 12th place. Liam Taylor, credit to him, he's got himself up to 15th. He's overtaken a couple, and there is the sad sight, Ramdan Rosley.
That's miserable luck for Ramdan. He's, as a rider, he's done everything right this weekend. Very disappointing couple of outings. Casper's looking good here. And I think that's Sandy Farid. Zhuhai moving up there into P3.
Just looking at Ramdan Rosley, his performances in the last 4 races, DNF, 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 DNF.
Yeah, don't talk to me as he walks back into the pit. Unfortunate stuff for him. But Andy Farid, who went very well until his crash yesterday, he's up to 3rd. I was talking to 3 of the Honda riders, Andy, Andy himself, plus Helmi Asman and Azroy last night, and they were determined to fly the flag for Honda. They do feel they've got a power disadvantage to the Yamahas, but Andy Farid's chasing Adam Norridin now for second position.
It is the Yamaha though of Kazma Daniel that leads for the second straight lap. He has led from the very first corner once he got the better of the good start from Pittapong. It's Adam Norridin in second. Pittapong Boonlert's got himself back up to P4. So that little manoeuvre that cost him, sent him down to P10 temporarily. He's worked hard to work his way back through the group, and Pittapong Boonlert, the only danger with having worked so hard is that you've maybe used up a little bit more tyre than you'd like to.
Yeah, could well be. He has worked hard, and it's a good reminder. He hasn't just shot through back to the front of this field. It's a good reminder of the quality of the riders here. Andy Farid is the in front of him. He's a double race winner. Adam Norridin, of course, a race winner, and he's got Azroy and Helmi Asman, Kritchapong Kausonti, the young Thai rider, coming up through the field. Afifan Ram is in 9th position now. I expect to see him moving up. And 10th is Reza Danica Arens. And we should be seeing a bit more by now. We're past mid-season from Reza Danica. Let's see how he's doing on the extra 350cc. He was, of course, the AP250 champion last year.
Pittapong Boonlert, fastest lap time, 1:38.113. That's nearly 0.3 of a second faster than Adam Norridin. Andy Farid Itzahar has also posted a fast time, 1:38.205. So Andy Farid's having to work mighty hard to hold off the challenge behind him from Pittapong Boonlert, but the front two remain unchanged as they go through at the end of lap 3. 9 to go, still a long, long way. Andy Farid hunkers down. He's closing in on Adam Norridin. These first 4 are managing to pull away in what, for the first time, looks like it might be a procession. Don't be fooled. Do not be fooled. This is not a procession.
No, nothing like it, as we've seen from just how hard Pittapong Boonlert's having to work to recover from his early mistake. And the Honda of Andy Farid Izdihar doing very well to be splitting that group of Yamahas. And Azroy leading the group just behind, about 2 seconds behind.
Yamaha 1, Yamaha 2, Honda 3, just Yamaha Pittapong trying to make it a 1, 2, 3 for the Yamaha, but Andy Farid is holding on there. Pittapong has a look on the outside, has a little dink on the inside, tries to get maybe late on the brakes. Pittapong Boonlert, remember, if he wins and his nearest rival Kazma Daniel comes fourth, he will be champion today with 4 races of the season still to go. But at the moment, that looks a little bit far-fetched because Kazmuddin is leading the way. Adam Norridin tracking his every move, and Pittapong Boonlert not able to make any headway on Andy Farid.
No, he's not. No, he's not. You can see how good these riders are. Andy Farid was very disappointed with his crash out yesterday because he did crash out of contention.
There is the Coco Crunch operating exactly as you want. Afif Amram is caught and the bike stands up exactly as you described it. Not so much fun for Afif, but no. Well done
But you believe me now, Des?
I believe you now, and that's what safety gravel pits are for.
Yeah, working absolutely as it should, rider unhurt, and bike pretty much undamaged.
Indeed, indeed. But Eagle very much damaged. This is the Pittapong pit lane. Pittapong Boonlert for the Yamaha Thai Racing Team. Remarkable series of results. 6 wins in a row before a 3-1-3 in his last 2 races. 207 points in 9 races to date. At the moment, though, in 4th place, and for the first time outside the podium. Oh. Now in a podium, Andy Farid loses the front end, and Pittapong Boonlert goes through into P3.
Yeah, another crash out for Andy Farid. That shows just how hard he's trying. It also shows just how difficult this track surface can be in places.
The Astra Honda Racing pit crew, head in hands time. Sometimes, well, there's nothing that you can do in your pit lane, but Andy Farid,
yeah, not much of a mistake there, really. But you don't need to do much wrong. There you just see the front tucking, and down he goes. Pirapong avoids him, goes inside.
What are we? We're on turn 7 there. We've seen a couple of incidents on turn 7. That's, I think, where Aslan Shah went out in the 1000s yesterday.
Yeah, and a similarly very small mistake that took him out.
But that means our 1, 2, 3 are, as we had yesterday, just in a different order. Kazma Daniel, who's led since the second corner, ahead of Adam Noureddin, and Pirapong has come very quickly up onto the back wheel of Adam Noureddin, the SIC junior team member. And also going off is Ahmed Afif Amran.
Yeah, somehow
he's got back up again.
That out of the Cocoa Pops. He'll have needed quite a bit of help from the marshals to do that.
Gosh.
But you can see the bike's
perfect working order.
Perfect nick, and so is Amran.
Right, back to the front end. Adam Noureddin is now feeling the pressure from Pirapong Boonlert. Pirapong, we look at, there's a lot of time to go here. We're not even halfway in this race, and Pirapong, who was as low as P10 at one stage after he was forced wide on a corner on lap 1, has got himself right back on the wheels. The differential between Pirapong and Adam Noureddin is less than 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, Pirapong, he won't really relish another third place finish, but he's got such a big championship lead that it would be crazy for him to stick his neck out to get up another place. And there's another machine out there. That's one of the wild cards.
Xia Juntong 222, who had a pretty decent start. He was in P9, just 11 seconds off the pace. He was dueling with Javier Malloy, so the Spaniard goes into P9. As going over the line is Kazma Daniel, 0.46 a second ahead of Adam Noureddin. Pirapong third, Azroy Hakim, Pasawit, Helmi Asman sixth. Kritchapon hasn't really made the impact we anticipated. He's 9 seconds off the pace and holding off a threat from Reza Danica and Javier Malloy. They're the top 9 as Yuan Tang, he becomes the, Marseille becomes the best of the wildcards in P10.
Yeah, you got Honda, Yamaha 1, 2, 3, you got Honda 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and Yamaha number 9 with Javier Orellano Malloy, who had a fantastic debut in Australia. He came through from nowhere. He missed most of practice because he smashed himself and his bike up twice, I think, in practice and qualifying. And came through from about 9th on the grid to 2nd position in race 1.
I remember the scramble for the flag. Where's the Spanish flag? Because certainly Javier Malloy is there, and for the podium they had to dig deep into the reserves and pick out a Spanish flag. But that was then. This is now. Away from a very happy pit crew at the moment, because Kazma Daniel and Adam Noureddin haven't really changed much the differential between them. It's 0.466, so Kazma is riding competitively. I wonder, despite the smiles, how badly he took yesterday's defeat by Russell.
Yeah, I mean, they laughed when I teased them today about not getting a win despite having beaten Pirapong. There's a disconsolate Andy Fredizdiar. He's not taking his helmet off yet in the pits. Big shame for him. He was right on the pace, but just a small mistake at this level. And in these track conditions.
That's Liam McDonald from the Victor Racing team. Where's Liam got himself into? He's in P13 at the moment. He's having a decent attempt, Liam McDonald, on picking up 1 or 2 points.
Yeah, mixing it there with the wild cards. Got a New Zealand passport. He grew up in America. He's a very laid-back, comical character, and one of the big characters of the paddock. He loves racing. And he loves the experience he's having here with Asia Road Racing Championship.
He was dueling there with Macau's Ao Yong Fu. That was for P13. In the pit lane, already retired, Andy Farid, Xia Juntong, Afif Amran, Ramdan Rosli, Fakruzi and Jinbin. Also not registering any lap times at the front though. Well, Pirapong beginning to make it. Pirapong has got himself ahead of Adam Noureddin. As we were focusing on some of the back markers, Pirapong Boonlert has really made a real move, and he has got Kazma Daniel in his sights. Wow, what a half lap that was for Pirapong Boonlert.
Yeah, so Pirapong, he's going to show us championship quality, and the reason he's got that massive, I think it's at the start of this race, 89 point lead in the championship. Let's see what he can do with Kazma, who's very much had his tail up for the last few weeks since taking a second place in the CEV Junior World Championship, Moto 2.
Kazma Daniel, his last 5 races at the SuperSports 600, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 2nd. Is he able to put a first on that mantelpiece? It looks so much better when it says P1 rather than P2 or P3, but he's under pressure. Is Kazma Daniel, raises the head up high. Boonler goes on the inside. Pirapong Boonler takes the lead with a fabulous overtaking maneuver, and Kazma Daniel, who'd been serenely in front, more than a second ahead of Pirapong Boonler, is suddenly chasing the tyres back wheel.
Yeah, Pirapong's been lapping in the late 137s. He's the only rider on track to have dipped below 138. And now let's see what he can do with these 2 very talented challengers behind him, Kazma Daniel and yesterday's race winner Adam Norridin.
Andy Farid, how we understand, is coming back onto the track, but obviously he won't be able to impact what goes on at the top, because Pirapong Boonler, what a recovery. Remember, he was P10. Here is Andy Farid coming back onto the track. He can't pick up championship points, or maybe with the accident rate ahead of him, he certainly can, because there's only 15, including Andy Farid, on the grid, so he might be able to pick up points. So sensible tactics.
Well, yeah, very much so by Astra Honda. They're keeping their eye on the ball. They're thinking about what's going on, and even if he doesn't improve from here, he's going to add 1 point to his tally for the season,
which could be crucial if he is going to get a top 3 place. Anything beyond the top 3 likely to be beyond him, because these 3 are dominating both in the overall championship standings. Behind them, Azroy Hakim Anwar from the Mashasi Bunshu racing team. He's had 3 DNFs. He'd like just to get over the finish line with some points under his belt. But Boonler chased by Kazma Daniel. We have got 2.5 laps to go, and Pirapong Boonler has timed this one beautifully, or has he? Because remember how late into the race Adam Norridin made his moves yesterday, and Kazma Daniel goes on the inside. Boonler has a look. Right, we are back to dueling 3 in a row. Pick any 3.
Yeah, Pirapong did well there. He held his line, and despite the fact that Kazma slipped past him, he held the momentum and got himself back into the lead. Who do you want to pick from this lot? This is really open stuff. All these riders are capable of springing surprises.
So Pirapong, who temporarily lost the lead for just 2 corners. Kazma Daniel has a look on the inside as all the riders slide. They'll be cautious about turn 7. That's taken a couple of casualties already this weekend. Not quite sure why, but the front end slips away from a couple, but it's Kazma Daniel 2, Adam Norridin 3, and Pirapong Boonler around the fast final corner 14. After this, it'll be 2 laps to go, and the lead for Pirapong Boonler is 0.325, 0.06 ahead of Adam Norridin. What a finale we've got again from these 3 riders. Norridin goes into P2.
Yeah, you saw his team manager Zulfami Karadin on the pit wall there, waving at his rider, hurrying him along, and he got the message that Pirapong's gone back in front.
So Adam Norridin P2, and then Kazma goes on the inside. I promised you that this would be a genuine duel. Kazma Daniel, he's got Pirapong in his sights, but Adam Norridin's got Kazma and Pirapong in their sights as they slide into the corner. Tight angles, and it's Pirapong who leads, uses the full width of the track just to make sure that there's no space for Kazma to get by.
Yeah, a real good quality rider, Pirapong. He knows how to lead at the front. Behind him, Kazma Daniel is determined. He feels he should have won a race already this season, and he hasn't. And he's going to give it everything to get past the tie.
In the meantime, Adam Noureddin has already shown that he's got the ability at the end of the big straight to get ahead. Kazma has a look on the inside. Kazma takes the space from Pirapong Boonlert. Pirapong tries to go around the outside. Adam Noureddin also has a look as well. Third change of lead in this lap alone. Kazma Daniel is the man who's holding on. Has he got the ability and the determination? Whiplashes around this corner, and we'll use this as a rehearsal coming into the final lap. It is Kazma Daniel leading from Pirapong from Adam Noureddin.
He got fantastic drive through that last turn. Pirapong slipstreamed up close to him, as has done Adam Noureddin, who goes through to second.
Adam Noureddin P2, he knows where to make his manoeuvre, and Pirapong, who was leading, now back into P3. Incredible stuff. Final lap, riders giving their all, lifting the brakes until the very, very last minute. A little whip turn as Pirapong goes on a different line, tries to get something different on Adam Noureddin, but Adam Noureddin trails behind Kazma Daniel. It's all coming good. Adam Noureddin looks on the inside, and Pirapong is still there.
Des, we said if this race is 1/8 as good as yesterday's, it's going to be a cracker, and my goodness, this is every bit as good as yesterday's.
3 still in with a genuine chance of making this. These are the 3 podium sitters. Pirapong, the championship leader, has to do something special though, because he's got Noureddin and Kazma Daniel ahead of him. Noureddin will be looking at Kazma Daniel and looking for an error. Goes on the outside. Noureddin looks on the inside. Kazma Daniel is beaten on the inside. Can't hold it. Kazma round the outside. Pirapong has a look as well, but it's Adam Noureddin who takes Kazma on the last lap once again. Adam Noureddin won yesterday. Kazma doesn't want to give it up. Final corner. Kazma and Noureddin. Kazma Daniel goes wide. Kazma Daniel this time holds on for the victory ahead of Noureddin. And the celebrations will be long, and they will be loud, and they will be thoroughly deserved.
That was revenge, poetic revenge there by Kazma Daniel. He mugged Adam Noureddin on that last corner in exactly the same way that Adam mugged Kazma yesterday. Brilliant stuff.
Here's the final corner again. Noureddin leads. Kazma just barges him out the way. That is brave, brave racing. I've got to hold on. I've got to hold on. I've got to hold on. And he does. And Kazma Daniel, we berated him for smiling yesterday. He will be laughing today.
Brilliant race, brilliant race. He learned from what happened yesterday. He's got the win that he feels is deserved, that his team wanted so badly. And I'm sure that Adam Noureddin and his SIC ZK team are going to be happy with taking away a first and second place from this race. Look at him smiling. He's flipped his visor up. Wheeling all the way around the track. That's one delighted young fella. 19-year-old Kazma Daniel Kasmayuddin takes his first win of the season, and it's the 3rd time that he's beaten championship leader Pirapong Boonlert, who again today was 3rd. That's 3 third places now and 7 firsts for Pirapong Boonlert, who is of course the runaway championship leader.
If you have seen a pair of racers better than the 2 that we have seen in the SuperSports 600cc here in Zhuhai, I would be tempted to call you a liar, because those 2 racers we have seen this weekend are world class. Here is the result. Kazma Daniel wins it by 0.075. Pirapong Boonlert 0.149 behind him. Great result on the Honda for Azroy Hakim. Passowit in 5th, Helmi Asman 6th. Reza Danica picks up some useful points in 7th place, and Krichipon 18 seconds adrift in P8. Javier Malloy, again useful points for him. Masai is the first of the wildcards, the Chinese wildcards on the Yamaha. Good result for him, and Yuan Heng, and Hong Yan, and Liang Fu. Congratulations to them. Liam McDonald picking up points as well. Non-finishers, Afif Amran, Ramdan Rosley, who went out. Miserable weekend for him, but not a miserable weekend by any stretch of the imagination for Kazma Daniel. And those celebrations, Barry Russell, so deserved.
Yeah, they tell you everything. The smiles on their faces, and you wait until Kazma gets his helmet off, then you're going to see a big smile.
Sensational racing. Sensational. And Kazma Daniel, he came in for some criticism for being happy with second place yesterday. He has shown a real tenacity, a real courage in terms of bikesmanship to take that victory. And he's got the earrings and he's got the blonde hair, but underneath that there's a steely heart of competitive stone.
Yeah, perhaps he's turned the corner in his career now. He's beaten two really good riders. Both those young Malaysians put everything on the line in that race, again, as they did yesterday.
Okay, we can go to Huiling, who is talking to a joyous Kazma Daniel.
Thank you, Des and Barry. Down here at Park Ferme with Kazma Daniel. I'm sure your entire team is super delighted. Your very first win in the SuperSports 600cc class. Share us that final move that you made on Adam Noridin.
I don't know how to say. It's really crazy fighting for me. Race 2, I never fight like this. But first, I will say thank you to my team, Hong Leong, and everybody, because make my bike fantastic. And then I really syukur alhamdulillah. This is my first win. Then thank you so much. Bye bye.
All right, thank you so much, and we'll see all three riders on the podium shortly.
It's a very Selma Hari Raya for the winner today, Kazma Daniel. What a way to celebrate. Fantastic, fantastic race. I promised you that would be good. I often get it wrong. I didn't get it wrong this time. Let's have a look at the highlights of how Kazma Daniel picked up his first win at this level. Here's how it started. It was all very serene on the start line, where we were looking at a very cool, calm and collected people. Our narrative was about Pirapong Boonlert and a potential championship. Adam Noridin was the man we all wanted to keep an eye on. In the end, though, the whole story is Kazma Daniel and the way that he's able to glean revenge. That's the word I think we're going to use, Barry. Revenge for what happened yesterday, the way he lost the race to Adam Noridin.
Yeah, it was. There was poetry in that, because that's pretty much exactly what Noridin did to him yesterday. It's a great win for Kazma, and sometimes you can see a turning point in a rider's career. I hope that that's the case here for Kazma. He does come off a second position in Spain in the CEV Moto2 Championship, which is packed full of European stars. So this is a very, very interesting season for Kazma.
Pirapong Boonlert had been as low as P10. He showed his quality, that he worked his way right the way through, so that with 3.5 laps to go, he took the lead. And with his ability, I thought Pirapong could be there, but that's where we saw the first fighting spirit of Kazma Daniel. There he is, bike 127. He took the lead, lost it again, but he's laid a warning signal up there to Pirapong saying, I'm not going away. And we know Adam Noridin doesn't go away. Bike 77, he is a competitor as well.
Yeah, he is absolutely. There's Zulfami, his team manager, waving him on. And as they go here, I think this is the start of the last lap.
And that last lap would be one to remember. Pirapong, well, we're coming into the last lap, taken on the inside by Kazma Daniel. This is where we began to get uber excited, because Adam Noridin behind, he's just waiting for any kind of a slip-up. Pirapong Boonlert, you can see the focus on the back wheel there of Kazma Daniel, and then Kazma has got Adam Noridin for company. Adam Noridin then takes the lead. We're deep into the final lap, and Noridin strong enough and brave enough to hold off that central area. His team think it's a final corner of the final lap, and Kazma Daniel wreaks revenge on Adam Noridin. He punches the air in delight, punches the ignition. Fabulous. My word, that will be a smile as big as you will see in Zhuhai this weekend.
Yeah, and look how close Pirapong Boonlert was behind them in third position. Just a 1/10 of a second separating them.
Okay, now then, let's calm down a little bit, take a deep breath, and let's go to the podium for Huiling.
We'll begin the podium ceremony for the SuperSports 600cc Race 2. Coming in third place today, Pirapong Boonlert from Yamaha Thailand Racing Team. In second place, Muhammad Adam Muhammad Noruddin from SIC Junior ZK Racing Team. And today's race 2 winner, Kasma Daniel Kasmayuddin from Hong Leong Yamaha Malaysia. And the best team award today, we'd like to invite Hong Leong Yamaha Malaysia's team manager to join the riders on the podium. We will now stand for the national anthem of Malaysia. We'd now like to invite Mr. Gary Huang, the Chief Executive Officer of KYT China, to present the riders with their trophies. Coming in third place today from Thailand, Pirapong Bunlat. In second place from Malaysia, Muhammad Adam Muhammad Noruddin. And today's race winner from Malaysia, Kasma Daniel Kasmayuddin. And the best team award today goes to Hong Leong Yamaha Malaysia.
Our thanks to Gary Huang Zunju, the Chief Executive Officer of KYT China, for handing out the prizes. You cannot take the smile off Kasma Daniel Kasmayuddin. What a performance. Adam Noruddin, a first and a second for him this weekend. Pirapong Bunlat looks miserable. 2 third places. 80 points his lead in the overall championship standing. He's quickly out of there. He's got work to do coming into Sepang and Buriram in the last 2 races. You're not allowed to leave so easily, Pirapong. It's not often that he's been outclassed as he was in these 2 races. But Pirapong leads by 80 points from Kasma Daniel and Adam Noruddin in third. Quick thoughts, Barry, on 2 sensational races.
It was a fantastic race, particularly between the 2 Malaysians. Kasma Daniel was the second and a first, and Adam was a first and a second, so they'll be really happy this weekend. I do think Pirapong played it right, given his position in the championship, and if you look at where he finished in both days, particularly today, he was a tenth of a second behind the 2 winners and positioned in such a way that if anything happened, he'd have gone straight through to the front.
Ramdan Rosley's miserable weekend means that he picks up no points, is stranded on 49 points, as is Kritchapong. But this was a weekend to remember in the history of the SuperSports 600, and there's still 4 more races to go. And there's 1 more race to go here in Zhuhai, in this fantastic arena. It's great to be back here, and we've got the big boys, the superbikes, the 1000 cc's. They're coming right your way at nearly 300 kilometers an hour in 2 minutes' time.